In today's video, we're taking a unique approach to exploring the Jay Shetty Certification School. Last week, I jumped on a Zoom call with someone who's considering joining the program, just like many of you might be. During this call, I share my personal experience, the valuable insights I gained, and the impact it's had on my journey as a certified life coach. You'll hear firsthand the questions and concerns that might be on your mind too. And I'll offer guidance and tips on how to navigate and complete the program successfully. And for those of you thinking about taking this transformative step, stick around to the end. I'll reveal how you can save $600 off the Jay Shetty Certification School. This is a rare glimpse into a real conversation that might answer your specific questions. Let's jump into the video. What is up? Can you
How's it
hear me?
going? Yes.
Okay, what's good, man? How are you?
I'm
Are you
pretty good. How about
driving?
yourself? I'm actually about to park at this little park by my house right now.
So you're gonna join the program?
Yeah, I've already kind of decided after doing a bunch of research, but I just wanted to get some firsthand information since I know you kind of had gone through it pretty recently. So just
Yeah.
wanted to see what your experience was, what your tangible results have been,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that you feel like could have been used in the program that weren't available to you.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Where are you from?
Originally New York, Brooklyn.
And where are you now?
I live in Oakland, California now, though.
Okay, cool, cool. It's close by.
Yeah.
I'm from Los Angeles, so we're on the same,
Okay.
at least time zone.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. How's LA this time of year?
I mean, it's been raining, which is crazy because it doesn't really rain that much over here. But I mean, it's been raining like a lot lately. But we got some clear skies now, so we got the sun back, and it's gonna get warmer soon. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely had those storms up this way too. I had a friend flying back in from the East Coast. Had to have her flight diverted to LA, and then she was stuck for a night.
Damn, man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's been a crazy one.
So for the initial question of like, how it was like and everything, what would you like to start? Like, what would be the first question that just to like kick things off?
Yeah, so just program details, like the course curriculum, did you feel you were really learning things? Did you have homework assignments, that kind of stuff? Like kind of like a general, just what the program was consisting of,
Gotcha.
and then what your, yeah, like
Mhm.
how you contributed to your own learning and stuff.
Right. Okay. So, just to give you a perspective of like who am I, and like why I even decided to join the damn program is purely by just chance. Because I had no intentions of becoming a life coach. I was basically just confused as to what my next step is. I've worked in the financial industry for a very long time, so I've worked in banking for 10 years,
Okay.
and I'm tired of fucking working for a company and working for people. So in my head, I'm like, well, I need to figure something out, and I need to figure a business that works for me, that I'm able to like be autonomous and live a life on my own terms. So that's where my mind was during the time before joining the program. And I've been doing YouTube for about 4 years. I was teaching people how to dance with their hands. I know that's a little silly, but if you've ever gone to a rave, I was somebody called a glover. So I would put like little
Yeah.
LED gloves in my hands, and I got
Yeah.
sponsored by the companies that made the gloves, and I started teaching people online how to do that. So that's how I grew my platform on YouTube. But they went out of business, and I was like stuck in a limbo where it's like, oh shit, like I've been doing this dance for a while, and I've been teaching people for a while, but now the company has gone out of business, and I don't know where I'm gonna get the income from. And I've been striving to try to do that YouTube thing, and I just needed a sense of direction as like I don't know what the fuck I want to do in my life, right? From there, I got hit with an ad for the Jay Shetty Certification School, and in my head, I'm like, man, I just want to talk to a life coach. Perhaps I could like just hire somebody, you know, but I've already
Yeah.
read the book, Think Like a Monk, and I had, seen I've gotten a lot of value from like his writings, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Let's see where this goes. I'll jump in the funnel and figure
Mm.
out like, if this program is gonna work for me. That video that I did on YouTube saying like how much does it cost to enroll into the Jay Shetty Certification School, That video was done intentionally so I can start gaining traction because I knew that I was going to join the program. It wasn't a matter of like how much it costs. It was just more like, I'm going to do this, but I want to document the journey because I'm a big follower of Gary Vee and he's like, document the process, document the process. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to document the process. I'm going to go in it. And my intention was just to find clarity on what my next move was. So I wanted to be coached by life coaches so I can figure out what the fuck I want to do with myself. No intentions of being a coach, but if I learned a new skill that I can, utilize in my career, then I thought it would just be an additional bonus. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I have the money to do it. Let's just do it, right? So that's
Yeah.
where I'm coming from. After the joining the program, it was a little bit overwhelming because of the amount of work you have to do.
Mm,
So I negotiated my time with my manager at the bank and reduced my hours to 30 hours. And now I have Tuesdays and Thursdays dedicated to coaching. So I had to reduce my hours in order to complete it. Some people don't have to do that. To each his own. For me, I felt like I needed to do that. And I got a lot of value from the courses. I've learned how to improve my communication skills, and I am very confident in my coaching abilities based on the information that I've received in the course. Question of what I believe they could have done differently that would have been more valuable is I would have liked them to have a dedicated coach to mentor you throughout the process of going through the school. Now, the alternative or the thing that they do offer is other students that are learning how to coach. Because we all have to accumulate hours, the first thing that I did was like, who wants to accumulate some hours? Because I need to be coached, because I need to find out what the fuck I want to do with my life. And I got three coaches. Then I dropped one and kept two. I got one from the male perspective and one from the female perspective. So I can have both sides and see like how that is. And I loved it. After that, after I exposure of like being coached, I saw the value in the career path. And
mhm,
then I went into because you get this like platform called Experience, or like it's kind of like a Facebook group where like you meet like other people that are in the program. So I did a
mhm.
post. I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready to coach now because I've got that experience of like being coached. I'm like, okay, I want to provide that same value to other people. Accumulating my hours and everything, I got pretty good at it, and that's where I am now. I got my first paid client during the program. So
Mm.
if you apply yourself, you can definitely make some money. I noticed that there's a big trend of people just not having the confidence in themselves to actually sell their services, but it's something that you have to overcome, you know? But
Yeah.
that's a little bit about me. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at because I know that they do offer like a business coach once you're like through the program. The person who was my enrollment advisor kind of has some of the same life experiences that I have. And so we talked a lot about that and we talked about how the business coach really helped them. Did you feel
Mhm.
like that service helped, or would you have also had like maybe someone outside? Because I'm considering hiring a coach outside to like help me while I'm in the program to build my business so that it's ready to go right when I'm done.
At the end of it, you go through this thing called Launchpad, which is like a 30-day program. And if you don't have a lot of time because it's every single day you're learning something new, then it's really difficult to keep up with it. But the cool thing is that once you get certified, you go into the alumni program and they have multiple courses on how to get your coaching business up and running, and you are not time bound. Like it's fully at your own pace, which is great.
Right.
So you have time. Like, and I think you'll learn a lot from that, like how to create funnels, how to promote yourself, what softwares you need to have to be a coach. It's good enough for you to like get started. It just is just a matter of you taking action and like
Gotcha.
doing the
Oh yeah, like your tangible results. So
right.
like after you were coaching, you said you got your first client while you were in. So tangible results as far as like real numbers and like how you structured your payment process. Because
Right.
that's another thing I've been looking at is like how much to charge for coaching. Like if you're
Mhm.
going to do it for a certain amount of time, or if you're looking for, lifetime. I mean, never want a client to be a lifetime client, but a consistent client.
In the school, they teach you a couple different ways to monetize or like structure your payment plans. I don't like charging per time. So some coaches, like that are just getting started, they want to get their feet wet, will be like, all right, $50 a session, $20 a session, which is like ridiculous to me. I think it's like super low in the totem
Yeah.
pole. The way that I did it, they don't really teach you this. They just tell you like you need to accumulate hours. So my intention was I'm going to start every relationship by letting them know exactly what I'm going to do. So in the beginning and during a discovery call, I want to know your goals and aspirations, and I want to know how I can help you. And then from there, I tell you in the beginning, at the end of this call, I want to offer you my services. Is that okay? So that way I can get that first permission to be able to pitch you at the end of the call. You know,
Yeah. That's a great
from
sales
there,
tactic is getting someone to say yes at the beginning of the call.
yeah, exactly. And then from there, what I did is because I needed to get my coaching hours, I said, I'm going to give you 5 free sessions so you can get an experience and see what it's like to be coached. And if you enjoy it and everything, at the end of the sessions, I will let you know how it would look like to continue working with me. Tangible like outcomes and value. I got my first paid client at $1,500 for 3 months. And that was actually negotiated because I wanted 2000 when I first did the pitch. I wanted $2,000 for 3 months, but because of their financial like struggles, we worked it down to 1500, and then that was my first paid client after 5 free sessions. Right now, I haven't been on too many discovery calls. I'm mostly focusing on free sessions, so I can get practice still and so I can get testimonials. So that's my goal right now is just to accumulate testimonials so people can see that I'm credible. And I'm also
Hmm.
creating a lot of content on YouTube. So that's where my focus is right now. Those are the
Yeah.
results that I've gotten so far.
Yeah. And your coaching like niche was focused around like building more like brand content building and business coaching, correct?
Yeah, so I love working with content creators, but I'm still working on my niche, right? So like
Hmm.
in the beginning, I was like my niche for now, that's like what I figured. Like my niche for now is content creators and entrepreneurs. And then I was like, as I started doing that, I started working with other creators, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but it's still too vague. I'm still speaking to like a general audience, and I need to like pinpoint who I want to work with. So then I started like, brainstorming. And what I came to a conclusion is that I want to work with the younger me. I want to work with people that are in the similar situation as I am in or I was in, right? So like when I was a kid, I grew up in South Central LA, broke as a joke, homeless for 3 years and struggling. My parents divorced, and my dad, just fucking flew the coop. He's in Mexico, and I haven't really talked to him in years, right? So in my head, I'm like, man, I never had a father figure to like give me guidance and like figure out the financial world. So like I got all my support from my mom, and my mom isn't the most successful person in the world. Like we've struggled my whole life. So in my head now, my niche is more targeted to males who are 25 to 35 that want to break away from their 9 to 5. Because I'm currently working my 9 to 5 and I've been on that mission, but I'm a few chapters ahead. So as long as I'm a few chapters ahead, I know that I can provide value to the person that's striving for the same thing. And I want to work
Hmm.
for with those people so I can help them break away and start their own business. Whether it's coaching, whether it's online courses, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is, we're going to leverage social media to bring awareness to your business and grow so we can break away from working for someone else. That's my specifically targeted niche now. So that's my niche for now.
I guess kind of my last question to wrap this up would be like, what are some like tips or hacks that you would say that would have helped you while you were there, or things that you did, like to get the assignments done, to get more information?
Yeah, great question. I think you need to immediately get coached by somebody. Like even if they're students, right? Like a lot of them have really good life experience, and because they're going through the Jay Shetty Certification School, they're already more than competent to coach because you can get coaches from previous cohorts. Because you're gonna join into a cohort, which means like you're gonna be with a specific group of students, And people who have already in the alumni are, or have just got their certification, or people who are still trying to get their hours in, but they're farther ahead than you, they already have enough knowledge to be able to coach. So I would say the first tip would be look for someone that matches your energy to start being a coachee and start working on your inner shit. You know what I mean? Because we all have inner
Yeah,
shit that we need to fucking work through. So have someone coach you immediately and then get a feel for what do I like that they're doing and how can I adopt what they're doing in my practice. That would be like the
gotcha.
first thing. The second thing would be schedule. Like use Google Calendar to schedule some time to dedicate to finishing the modules. And if you are on your drive, if you like to listen to podcasts while you're driving, remember to document that in your self-study because we have a log where we document all of our self-study. And if you're into
Got it.
personal development, chances are you're listening to audiobooks, you're listening to podcasts, you're listening to things that are going to develop you as a person. And you want to be able to log those things so you can accumulate enough hours to get the certification at the end of it. So just remember to log them because sometimes we'll fucking, educate ourselves and we'll forget to log things and you're just trying to catch up like, oh shit, I did do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you actually start coaching people, those coaching hours are very easily taken care of. Like when you start offering your coaching to your friends, family,
Hmm.
or even just people in the school, like you're gonna get those hours easily. The hard part is getting through like the self-study and the modules, I guess. The modules are actually pretty entertaining. Like he's the way that he structured each lesson, it's like you want to watch the next one, you know? So it's more of just being on top of your shit, like time management and everything like that.
Gotcha. Using coaches from the alumni program, is that paid or is that like free services?
Okay, so it depends on the alumni, on the alumnus or whatever, on the person that you go into the call with. If
Got
you
it.
can be very direct on the platform and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for a person that is willing to do free coaching right now or is trying to accumulate hours right now." That way you don't get the alumni that are just trying to make money off of you. But be very direct, be very clear on what you're looking for. Because some people would be like, yeah, we'll give you this amount of coaching, but I want you to pay for my services, and then there's some people that are just trying to get the hours in. So just be clear, communicate what you're looking for. You'll find people that are going to work with you.
Well, that was really, really helpful. I really appreciate it. I was just taking some notes here in my little notebook, but
Yeah, no
yeah,
problem,
no,
man.
thank you so much for the call today because I just wanted like that firsthand, information. It's easy to look on a website and get whatever the testimonials are because those are always going to
Yeah.
be great. That's what you do for marketing, but to get someone really inside opinion about it, and your
Yeah.
videos were really helpful as well about like it was clear that you enjoyed the program and you got a lot of value.
I did. I mean, I'm a fucking life coach now, and I didn't even think I was gonna be one. It more spoke to me as like, damn, I can help a lot of people this way, and it feels good. It feels good when you give people clarity, attention, and then just keep track of their progress. And you're like, damn, man, like they're making that progress because I'm in there, I'm in that life, Because as a coach, you're a catalyst for people. Like, sure, they're gonna make it. You want to believe in your clients and be like, you're gonna make it with or without me, but I'm just simply here to expedite and make that achievement quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what makes you want to be a coach?
I actually saw it a few years back, probably like, Jesus, like maybe 6, 7 years ago, I saw coaching. And I
Hmm.
just, like people always say, like, you don't have to be in a perfect set of your life to be a coach. But I think I just wasn't ready at that point in my life, and so it kind of like just flew out of my brain. And this last year, beginning of this year, I literally just was like, last year was really rough for me. Really, really rough. I lost two full-time tech jobs at the end of 2022. And so last year was just like a struggle. I worked at a bar and I literally had one shift a week that was actually scheduled and I had to hustle for every other one. And I was just, deep in a depression, if I can be quite honest. And, this beginning of the year, I was like, you know what? Something has to change. You have to change. Like, you cannot keep going through life feeling like this.
Hmm.
And so I did Sober January. And through that process, I found a video of Mel Robbins, who's another amazing life coach and has a great podcast. And that really started me listening to her podcast. But right after I finished that video, I found a meditation practice by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And the
Love it.
combination of those two things literally like have changed my life. And, I sat there one day listening to Mel's podcast, actually, as she was talking to Jay Shetty. And I was like, you know what? Because she always says, like, when you want to do something, think about like somebody you admire in life and be like, what would they do? Because it's
Yeah.
typically easier to give somebody else advice rather than to take your own advice and actually, implement those things. And I was like,
Hmm.
you know what? I want to be Mel Robbins. Like, I want to coach people and I want to speak around the world to people about things that are within my history that I know that a lot of people like also deal with, but like, just becoming a better version of myself and helping other people to do that as well. And so I started looking up life coaching courses right then and then found Jay Shetty's like immediately.
No, that's awesome. I appreciate you being open and honest with me. Like being able to share that, like your struggles and everything, that you feel comfortable with me. And I really appreciate that. Man, I know exactly the feeling of like not having things figured out financially where you're just like, shit, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna pay for this month's rent. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like fucking doing odd jobs and shit just to get some food on your plate. So
Yeah.
I think you have the passion. That is something that the self motivator, right, to actually complete and accomplish things. So if you can tap into that and remind yourself of that situation that you were in last year and be like, this is an investment for me, like for you, you know what I mean? To like really push yourself and get through the program, I think you're gonna do well. Because the program is actually fairly easy. And now if I reflect on it, because like the coursework is very easily digestible. Jay Shetty is very articulate and he makes you like really understand things.
Yeah.
And when you take the tests and exams, they're stupid easy. Like it almost
Yeah.
feels like it's rigged for you to like actually pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just more of like, investing the time because it is a lot of time when, especially if you're going to be coaching people to accumulate hours, you have to dedicate that time and you also have to do a lot of inner work to be like off of yourself and focus on someone else.
I think that's another like thing that I'm really gonna focus on within the training is like, yes, I want to like put a message out there, but realistically, I just want to help people with whatever it is that they're dealing with. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, like not internalizing those things and making sure that like that I'm doing that internal work as well is going to be really important for me. That's another big thing that I've been looking at is like I really want to coach, you know what I mean? Because I just see that I'm listening to coaches and listening to their podcasts, but it's not
Yeah.
that direct relationship of making like a plan with someone, and having that
Yeah.
like accountability partner, but also having that like actual structure and like personal tailoring.
Yeah. I love that. Go
That is a
ahead.
question I had, like keeping track of your clients and like what is your kind of like organization around like making sure you manage, each client knows that you remember all of the things that you talked about. Is it just like different notebooks or different apps? Like I'm a proponent of like writing things down. So
Yeah, everybody has their own flow to it. So if writing things down is your best thing, I'd say stick to that. For me, I record the sessions. So I
mhm.
tell them, as a benefit for you, so you can reflect on our call, I'm going to record the session and then send it to you so you can have a copy so you can see your own body language, see how you react to the things that I ask you, and really analyze and dig deep on these things. But what it does, it helps me say like if I'm going to jump into a call, I'll watch that video and I'll be like, okay, this is what we covered last time, and then I'll use that for our next session. But I did that in the beginning, and then I've noticed that now it's just easier to do it naturally, like without having to document and write things down because it's more like you're building a relationship with somebody. And it's like a friendship, right? Like when you have a friend, you're gonna remember their birthday, you're gonna remember what we did last week. So it ends up becoming really easier as you start getting more invested in their development.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well,
Mhm.
again, thank you so much for this. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out of the day.
No, no problem, man. I mean, I know that this is gonna help a lot of people, especially because like there's so many people that have questions about this. Like as I started posting Jay Shetty information, everybody kept like, "Oh, how's that like? What is that like?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, if I could answer a couple questions for you that I can like just put on my YouTube channel, then that's great. And if you want to share your info with me, you can send it to me. That way, like people are aware that you're gonna become a coach and then start
Sure.
funneling people to like that way you
Yeah.
can get some people. Do you plan on
Yeah.
creating content at all?
I've actually just started. There was another Mel Robbins podcast that I watched, And I forget who the gentleman was, but he's an English dude, like multimillionaire, you know what I mean? And he was actually talking about how he built his brand initially by writing down his emotions throughout the day because he had real trouble being in touch with them on a regular basis. And then concising that down to like 240 characters and posting a video about it each day. And that's what I started doing.
Oh, wow.
My page, if you saw it, it's called Bonnet Boy Chronicles. I'm
Okay.
trans masculine, so it's kind of in the sense of like Tammy Roman's Bonnet Chronicles, but it's like the boy version. And so, yeah, I felt like, I keep talking about this thing and I need to act on it. So I just started doing that practice, and that's been like the first kind of way that I started here.
Oh yeah, I would say like I would challenge yourself to document the process because honestly, there's people that I'm still connected with from the alumni that are still struggling to get their first paid client. And it's because
Mm,
of content that has helped me attract people. Because I would jump on calls like this, and then I'll be like, hey, if you're interested in the program, but you want to get a taste of what coaching is like, then we can work together, and then you can get a firsthand experience of what it's like to be coached without having to pay
right.
$7,000. You know what I mean? So
Real.
it's opened up opportunities. So I would challenge you to like document the process, show people your humanity. You know what I mean? Because everyone's going through a journey, and people connect with that. It's more authentic. So it's like you're gonna get leads just by posting about the school.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely got that written down in my book as well.
Anything else that I can help you with before we go?
No, I will actually reach out to you about like coaching. I obviously am like just getting started working. I just got a job as a paraprofessional in school, which is going to be really fun and excited about. But, I don't have a lot of funds right at the moment. That's why I was like wondering about like how coaching works and stuff like that. I will definitely reach out to you about coaching. I'm considering one other person as
Mhm.
well, but I really like your energy and I like the way that we connect. So even if I can just get started and like you said, like experience what coaching is and like understand that capacity. Hopeful that it will only help you and, give you content and give you some testimony as well.
I love that, man. Thank you. I really appreciate you considering me as a coach. And if you did, like, since I know you just started getting, your money right and everything, we can work out something that works for both of us. We'll get into like more of an in-depth conversation as like what that would look like. So you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, just getting coached by me, even if it's just like free sessions in the beginning, just so you can get a taste. And, we'll work with each other. If you really want to, pursue that because like I get benefits from coaching you, even if I don't get monetary benefits, I get more experience, more testimonials, and just, working with different characters. It's an experience, right? Like you get to learn like what you like and stuff like that. So we can definitely work something out together. So you don't have to feel like I'm just going to charge you up the ass, you know what I mean?
And I don't want you to feel like, you're just doing all this like emotional labor as well and not, having some value for yourself as well.
I appreciate that. Well, reach out to me whenever you have questions. You have my link. That's an exclusive link because I had to start charging for discovery calls because people
Yeah.
kept booking calls with me and trying to pitch me on how they can sell to me. So then I just like put a fucking pay barrier so I can have people like, do that. But
Yeah.
for certain people that reach out directly, like you did, since you're an action taker and you're like serious about just having a communication about stuff like this, then I was like, here's my free link, that I don't share publicly. So I'm like, you have that. Let me know if you ever want to jump on a call and just look at my schedule and I'll jump
Sweet.
on. Cool.
Sweet. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and you guys get some more sun down there.
Thank you guys for watching to the end of this video. Now here is how you can save $600 off the Jay Shetty Certification School. In the description of this video and pinned to the comments section, I left my unique ambassadors link. So basically all you have to do is click the link, then put in the code JSCS600. That way you can get $600 off of the Jay Shetty Certification School. This is a new program that the Jay Shetty Certification School just started, and I'm super excited to be a part of the Ambassadors program. The Ambassadors program is just one of many ways that the Jay Shetty Certification School stands above the competition. Thanks again for watching this video. Click here if you want to watch another video like this, and remember, with patience, we prevail.